What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I think we're live. Just gonna check if everything's working fine over here. Comment below if you're watching this live. I would appreciate it. I want to know who's live and who's not. And we'll get started in just a few minutes. So, I've not done any live video in the past few weeks, so we'll get back to it. And I want to talk about basically, I want people to come here, but I want to cover your challenges today, and most importantly, like what you're facing right now. Because I've seen like usually when we have a challenge in trading, we can fix it pretty fast. We just have to know how to fix it. So I want to be able to cover these challenges you have right now, whatever stage you're at, whatever you're facing. And the goal will be to cover those, and then we can get started with that, and you can get some result and momentum afterward. So comment below if you're watching this live. I would appreciate it. I'm trying to see if everything's working fine. And it's a little bit strange here. Shivam, what's up? Hello, welcome. I'm just gonna wait for you guys to join, and I know it might take some time. It's Friday, so it's fun. Blake, what's up? What's up, Blake? Cool, perfect. Awesome. Cool. So we'll get started with that, I think, for now. So what I want you guys to do is, if you're joining me live now, comment in the chat what your main challenge right now. So answer the question that's gonna be the following: what is your main challenge at this point, at this moment in trading? And it could be anything. It could be anything you think about. I don't have enough time. I'm too stressed out. I don't like trading. That could be, I don't know if that's one. But any challenge you might face, come up with that, and then I want to be able to address them over this live video and kind of guide you through what you have to do to be able to overcome these challenges. That's the goal. Okay? So I'm just going to take some water here. And so, yeah. By the way, guys, I'm in Bangkok, and I'm hosting a free event tomorrow, a free training. So links going to be in the description for that if you want to check this out and sign up. Places are limited. It won't be on YouTube, only on the private area, so it's free. But if you want to watch it, you got to sign up first, and links in the description for that. So it's going to be tomorrow at, Saturday, right? So tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. here in Bangkok. Cool. So awesome. So we've got something to work with now, some challenges from Shivam. If you guys have any challenges you're facing right now, we'll cover those first. But then if you have anything other than that you're facing, comment below in the chat, and we'll be able to address them and make sure we cover these challenges. Okay. So this is a good one. This is a really good one. Okay. I don't have enough time. Vinny, welcome. So okay. So two things that Shivam says. It says, I don't have enough time, and not a strategy, I guess. So no strategy working at the moment. Well, here's the thing. We all have the same time in the day, right? We all have 24 hours in a day, and we all have the same amount of hours per week. Okay. So I've done a calculation before I answered this to someone else earlier. Here it is. Okay, and I'm just gonna go through this. That should be helpful for you guys to understand. Okay, because the myth of I don't have enough time doesn't work really well for me. So here's the thing. This is like powerful stuff. So, and this is something I've been taught from my mentor in the past that made a big difference for me. So I hope it can have the same impact for you at the same time. So here's the thing. We all have 24 hours in a day. Okay, that's 168 hours per week. We all have the same thing. Now, if you spend 8 hours a day sleeping, which is fine, you get enough sleep, of course, you have 112 hours left. Okay. If you spend 21 hours a week eating, so like 3 hours a day, 21 hours per week, and then you work 45 hours a week, including the commute, you still have 46 hours left in your week, okay, out of everything. And then if you do exercise, fun, church, whatever that is, for 15 hours a week, you still have 31 hours a week of free time. Okay, now you've slept, you've worked, you've ate. Okay, you went to church, exercise, have fun, whatever. You still have 31 hours of free time to do whatever you want. Okay, that's pretty amazing. And then people complain they don't have enough time to learn trading or to trade. 31 hours is a lot. So it's just a matter of how you manage your time. And that's something that I'll teach in the training, how I do things. Training tomorrow in the description. How I do things for myself, because we all have a lot of time. And some people right now are managing big companies, like Steve Jobs used to do. He had a few companies managing different things in the same amount of time that you do. So if you don't have enough time, it's a matter of your priority and what you spend time on. And just to kind of overcome this a bit more, okay? the time you manage comes down to three things. So you must plan your time right, you must interrupt your interruptions, and you must you must do things smart work. If you spend like 5 hours a day looking for strategies online on blogs, that's a waste of time. So you gotta do the right things to be able to not waste time, and that's the biggest thing. Okay, so remember, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So if you don't succeed with those 24 hours, those 168 hours per week, something wrong with how you manage your time. That's it. Okay, and so Shivam, we're talking about a strategy. So how do you create a strategy? That's something I'll talk about tomorrow in the training. So sign up for the training. It's linked below in the description. But here's the thing: strategies, you can find them everywhere, in books, in blogs, in podcast videos, whatever that is. Okay, there's so many ways to find strategies. Now, when people find strategy online, the first thing they're gonna do, or they're gonna say, is like, "Oh, it doesn't fit my style. It's not my personality." Or they're gonna say something like, "Oh well, it's unprofitable," or "I don't believe it's gonna work." Or they're gonna try it out for like 2-3 trades, and then it doesn't work, and they say, "Oh, it doesn't work. I don't want to trade this." Well, that's not how you do things, right? You gotta be able to, number one, let's say it doesn't fit your style, adapt it. That's the first thing. You adapt your strategy you found to make it work for you. Or if you and then you're gonna trade it for like long enough, right? So if you trade it only for like 4 or 5 trades, not enough. Even 20 trades, not enough. Even 40 trades, it's like the minimum. Okay, I was told by a mentor to, like, in whatever you do, trading, that could be sales, that could be real estate, that could be like numbers for whatever. Okay, your results don't count. They don't count until you reach the number 30 minimum. Okay, that's like the minimum. So your result don't count in trading unless you reach 30 trades. Your result don't count in finding investors until you've spoken to 30 investors. Okay, otherwise it doesn't count. It's just bullshit, because the law of numbers work only on large numbers, not on small numbers. So, okay, to get back to it, strategies, you can find them everywhere. You gotta test them out, adapt them for yourself. And all the people that I know that are like really good now in trading, they took a strategy that they found online or a part of it, then they adapted to them, how they like to have it, and that's why it's successful, because they have their own thing, and then they become the master at this. Okay, if you follow like my strategy and you say, "Oh, I'll trade is the same thing," you're not the master, and you got to be a master to be able to make money in trading. So you got to be able to adapt what you come across, and they're everywhere. You just got to test it and then adapt it to your style. Okay. And what you can do, which I'll teach not now but tomorrow in the training, is you go with like different step. First of all, you think about the zone you want to trade, then indicator, the price action, and just doing that is going to give you a strategy easily. Okay, so sign up for the training tomorrow. Link is in the description, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. Next challenge, and you guys, if you're just joining me live now, please first of all give a like on that video. I would appreciate it a lot if you like it. And I want to hear your main challenge in the comment, what you're facing right now, and we'll cover those and make sure that you have something to kind of overcome the challenge. Okay. So Blake says, adjusting to changes in market condition. Okay, that's a big one. That's a really big one. And this took me roughly, I would say, 2 years to be able to understand how to do this properly. So the way you want to see things, right, is like you want to think about the market, and there's different things you can look at. So volatility, the movement, and by movement I mean like, okay, so volatility, the movement, and whether it fails or not. Okay, so I'll explain the three. Volatility is like how price moves, like big move, small move. Is it like tight, or is it like big ranges and everything? That's volatility. Okay, if you have a style where you look for big moves, then that won't work in small moves. So what you gotta do is you gotta either go on lower time frame, or you gotta stop trading or try something different. Okay, that's like your only option. Then so whether things fail or not. Okay, so think about the fact that if you have a setup now that's like breakouts, and all the breakouts in the market tend to fail based on what you've seen, then you gotta stop trading breakout, try something different, or stop trading altogether for a while, or reduce your size when you trade. Okay, that's the second thing. And then the other aspect is I forgot what I said, but basically those are the things you have to think about, right? So how's the volatility, how's the market moving, and do my trades work in the market? Okay, you gotta look at all three, and then you're gonna adjust based on these. So one thing I've done myself in the past few years is I've gone on lower time frame, and that helped me because the market used to be more volatile. Now it's been less volatile, smaller moves, and basically reversals would fail or they would not have enough room to work out. So I went on lower time frame, and then they work quite well. Okay, they work even better now on lower time frame than bigger time frames. So that's kind of what I've been working on the past few years, and have been transitioning to a different style over the past few years. Okay, so for you it's going to be different, but you got to look at these three: how volatile it is, what kind of move happened in the market, and what do my strategy work, or is my type of trade failing all the time in the market? Okay, I hope that helps, Blake. Let me know. Yeah, perfect. So, pure mathematics says I'm still studying, no job, and in third world country, Malaysia. Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? In any country you can think about, there's people that are poor, and there's people that are rich. So you gotta think about how they've done it, and then you can do it yourself. Yeah. Okay. Here's a good one. Formula to control our emotions. Well, emotions in trading are essential, and it's not like one thing I learned over time is that you cannot control emotion. You can only use them and manage them. Okay, so you always gonna have emotions in trading. That's just part of life in trading. So you gotta be able to deal with them. Like, cause tell people like, oh, don't be scared. He's still gonna be scared. Tell someone, oh, calm down. He's gonna still be like stressed out. It doesn't work that way. You cannot just control someone or control emotions. So the best thing you can do is you can try to understand what emotion come up, right? You got a journal, that's for sure. You got to journal your emotions, understand what's happening when you trade. If you do trade, you feel stressed or you feel tense, you're like, oh, okay, I'm writing it down on a journal, and at least you have it, okay. And then you can know. Then you got to ask yourself. This is something I heard from, or I learned from Andrew Macker. When you feel something, right, you write it down. You got to ask yourself why. Why do I feel this? Is it normal? Is it not normal? Do I need to do something now to kind of improve that emotion or change the way I react? Or is it just normal? It's just part of life. Okay, I'll give you two examples. One, let's say I take a trade, and I'm in a drawdown for like whatever 1 month, and then I take a trade and I'm like stressed. Well, so why do I feel stressed? Oh, because I'm in a drawdown and I feel like it's not going well, so I'm stressed. Okay, that's fine. That's an emotion. But then, is it normal? Yeah, it's normal. It's a drawdown. I feel stressed. It's normal because I want to recover from the drawdown, right? For example. But scenario two is like, you take a trade or you're about to take a trade, and then you feel scared, and then you're like, well, why do I feel scared? Because I have a strategy now that I trade, but I didn't test it. Okay, that's not normal. You got to do something to fix it, to test it. Otherwise, you'll always feel scared when you trade. Or let's say you have no result. You've never seen the result of your strategy. Of course, you feel stressed and scared. That's normal. That's a normal reaction. But you got to do something to be able to fix that. Okay. So by asking yourself why you feel a certain way, why you have a certain emotion, you can identify the thing, and then you can decide if you have to work on it or not. Either you work on it because you gotta work on that, or you don't, or it's normal. Then you put it away. You can try to meditate, relax, breathe, and do all these things that are gonna help you kind of be more focused when you trade. Okay, so emotions are huge, but you gotta know how to deal with them. Shivam says, how many strategies do you recommend to have? I would say it depends. It depends on your goals. And that's something we'll cover tomorrow in the training, by the way. So I'll link below for that. But yeah, you can have one, you can have five, you can have three, two, one. Or you can focus on getting more capital too. And that's going to increase your result. So I personally have only one. I trade in like different conditions. But I focus on capital a little bit more than strategies. So that depends on what you prefer. Okay. Because to be honest, like my strength for me is not creating strategies. It takes me a long time to do that, and it's all nice and I like it, but it takes me a long time to create strategies. So I prefer to focus on capital because it's easier for me to increase capital, get more capital, than creating strategies. So you focus on what you prefer, what you're best at, and that's gonna be easier for you. Okay. Thank you for the like. I just saw a like recently. If you guys like this video so far, give it a like. I appreciate it. That's always nice. Baron says, is this game always going to be 95-5? So I guess 95% failing, 5% succeeding. No matter how much we educate, we make ourselves. Well, so that's the thing. Like, tell me about something that's worth achieving where most people succeed. You can't, right? You can't find anything, any discipline where it's worth achieving. It's a big goal, and then everyone succeeds. It doesn't happen. There's always like a 95-5 or a 90-10 or a 80-20 where most people don't get it. They don't succeed. And the people that do the hard work, they persist, they are consistent. These people succeed. So of course, like, it's just a game of numbers. So you gotta see it this way. And if you do the work, there's no reason why you would not succeed. But you gotta do the work. Be persistent. Be persistent, and network with people that are where you want to be. And that's pretty much the only thing to it. Okay, like anything else in life. Think about like being a doctor. How many people go to medical school and then they do not become doctors? It's probably like, what, 90-10? Pretty much the same thing. How many people start a business and fail? 95-5, right? Okay. To be honest, this is for Derek. Derek is talking about binary option. I don't have any opinion on binary option. I think it's a scam. So I'm tired of people that expect to get rich with binary option. It won't work. So if you don't try that because you get rich fast, that's good. But I've never seen anyone become millionaire and keep the money by choosing binary option. So you decide. It's fine. Those are my words of encouragement for you, Derek. Okay, so if you guys have any question or any challenge you're facing now, I want to have them in comment below. I'll just go back and make sure I didn't miss anything, and then we'll be able to cover your challenge or questions. Okay, we've talked about mindset a little bit. Venue, mindset. Okay, Blake is talking about strategy jumping. Nice. I wrote a post a long time ago about strategy, like how to stick to one strategy. So kind of like strategy jumping and the same principle. Let's see. So people that are strategy jumping, they don't really have any attachment to one strategy. And most people that just jump from one strategy to the next, it's because they didn't see the result. Okay? Like, what if I told you that... what if I told you, okay, here's like a way that you can make, 10% return per month on average, and it worked for the past 80 years. Okay, just an example. And then here's a way where you might make money trading. Okay, which one do you pick? The first one or the second one? Of course, the first one. So people that jump from strategies, they don't know like the stats of the strategy, or they think they can find better, perhaps. So until you accept that you cannot find better, or that you gotta stick to something average is better than sticking to nothing, until you accept that, you will always jump from strategy to the next. It never will be like, oh, I stick to this thing. The only way that I've been able to stick to a strategy myself, when I was like struggling and jumping all the time, is by seeing the result. Oh, it works. Right? It makes sense. And I did like the strategy, of course, but it's like, oh, it works. Even though the stats are not perfect, you're not like $1 million per year every year, it's still like, oh, it makes some return, and it's better than just making no return. So you gotta see it this way, and that's how I stuck myself to jumping from strategies to the next all the time. I hope this helps also. Um, Lewis says, "Well, will you open your own trading platform?" I'm not sure if I want to do that. To be honest, I'm not too sure. It's a good goal, but it's not something that really motivates me that much to open a platform. So I'll say in the future it might change. I don't know. That's a good question. Rambo says, "Have you heard of Chris Laurie?" Yes, I interviewed Chris a few years ago. He's a good guy, so you can watch the interview I've done with him or listen. It's an audio interview. Okay. About Vince says, "What is your average win rate per annum, bro?" uh, it's about 48% or a little bit lower. It depends on the time frame and everything around, but around like 46 to 48%. Some time frame like the forward chart got all the way to 38% last year. 38 with a 38 sometime, not all the time, but that's like the minimum. Below that you cannot trade. You lose too much. Matom says, or Stefan says, "I have a problem with greed. My record this month, 6 days of more than 10% daily gain, then followed by 3 huge losses. And two things, so hold on to them. Winners 2 hours versus 12 hours. Wow, okay. So that tells me your loss is not fixed per trade. Like you don't have a maximum loss per trade. Otherwise, your loss would be always the same. And that's the issue. So that's an issue with like risk management. You want to make sure that your losses are all the same and your gains are pretty much all the same too. So that means that if you win more than you lose. If you lose, you lose always the same. And people that have an issue with like not taking the losses is because they're there to look at them and to not take them, to keep the trade open. So if you like do what it's funny, do what Al Brooks says, right? I've done an interview with Al Brooks. I highly recommend you watch it if you can. It's on the channel. It had like a lot of views, but his advice was, if you remember, his advice was to do the Walmart trade, where you take a trade, you go to Walmart, then you come back and your trade is finished. Okay, that's the principle. So you enter a trade, you don't look at it, and then you come back and you look at only the result. And based on the result, you analyze whatever you can do better next time. It's kind of like how CEOs do things, right? They don't like CEOs when they have like a store chain or whatever. They're not going to the store and doing the refund themselves. They take a step back. They look at the overall picture of the expense, the revenues, the refund, everything, and then make decisions on that, not on a day to day, but on the bigger picture. And that's kind of what you want to do to be able to trade properly. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. The other thing you can do is like that's something I've been looking at myself in the past. Let's say you're winning trades. They take on average 4 hours, and then you're losing trade. You see on your stats beyond like 8 hours, it's 90% losing trades. So what you can do is you can have a limit where if it goes beyond that in terms of time, you close the trade because it's probably going to be a loss anyway. So that's something you can do to kind of minimize your losses and maximize your gains. So just a quick idea, but something you can try. Let's go back. Adam says, "What do you mean by creating capital?" I mean saving money, finding deals with investors, and just kind of being able to build more capital in your account. That's something like strategies. You can either trade more strategies or get more capital, and you'll make the same income in trading. So for me, capital is easier, but that's going to depend on you, of course. Someone is asking, I do technical analysis on every chart, but I still fail. That's a good one. So it's not like sometimes the best analysts are the worst traders, right? Because they know how to look at the market, but they don't know how to take trades and how to manage the trades properly. So that's actually a good thing. If you do analysis on the chart and you fail, maybe you're not a good maybe you're not a good analyst, and that's fine. But you gotta be able to find like one parameter, one system, one setup that you trade all the time, and that's the only thing there is. You shouldn't like look at the chart and analyze every time. That would be such a waste of time. You should have like one thing you look for, and that one thing, when it happens, you test it whether it works or not. When it happens, you just take the trade, and then you're done. Okay, there's no point of like, oh, I see this, oh, this one has like this pattern, this one, oh, a different pattern here, it's different here. It should be all the same thing you look at. You look at first until you get like really good, and you're able to spot the right things. And then if that happened, then you can have multiple setup and multiple ways to make money. But at first, only one is plenty, and only one can make you almost a living. Okay, if you do it right, and if you look always at the same thing. And the beauty of this is like once you look at the same thing all the time, you get used to it. Your brain is able to look at the same thing and understand the slight differences in the same pattern. And so that's really powerful. Once you get there, that's where you can spot a good setup from a bad one, and you can kind of even subconsciously know what's going to be a good trade or a bad trade. So that's pretty cool. It's recommended you focus on one thing, one pattern, one parameter, and then you just trade that all the time. But that's a good question. Okay. Awesome. Matam says that Walmart trade I just talked about is gonna save him a lot of time, a lot of stress. Perfect. That's excellent. Yeah, Mark Douglas. If you guys have a chance to read the book by Mark Douglas, any book, The Disciplined Trader or Trading the Zone, those are definitely worth it. Okay. I'm gonna be tough a little bit. No, I don't trade Bitcoin. And Moss says, when are you backtesting your strategy in the strategy tester on MT4? Which model do you use? I use the one where it says, not the open price only. The other one, like the one in the middle. So there's like three options to backtest in MT4. One where it's like all the tick data, and one is like the extremes. It's like only open and close, I think. I'm using the one in between. So, or one is like the high and low, but I'm using the one in between first. But then if you don't have a real backtest with real data, you use the best one, the one with the tick data. So it's easy. And then that's something like some platforms don't have. So let's say you backtest on TradingView, right? You have an option to backtest the bar replay, but the thing is like you don't know in the moment how it feels or what thing, how the move look. So let's say you look at like a 1 hour chart, and it's all like nice up there. It would be super good to trade, but on the 1 hour chart when you look back, it looks like nice, but in the moment, maybe the spreads are like super high, or maybe the move happened like really fast, and then you wouldn't be able to enter the trade. These are things you gotta consider first, and you cannot know if you trade on or if you backtest on TradingView. You can only know if you backtest with like tick data on MT4 or some other platform. Someone says, I've blown too many accounts, lost over 50k, 60k word or any encouragement. I was still gonna do things different, right? So you cannot go back in time to change things, but you can always change how you do things from now on. That's the key point. So if you've been losing money in the past, it's because it didn't work. At least you know what doesn't work, right? You can know like what you're doing now doesn't work, and you can start to change things. And I would say the biggest thing is, even if you're not successful now, surround yourself with people who've done it before and ask them for advice. Like depending on where you are, where you live, you can always find people that trade anywhere, I've found. So talk with those people, exchange with them, meet them in person, find a way to bring them value in whatever way you can. I have videos that discuss that on the channel, but find a way to add them value, and then meet them, ask for advice, and you'll be able to change your things pretty fast. And that's how I do things. So for me, when I had no result, I went back to meet traders, and meeting traders every week or every month, or talking with them, or reaching out to people even online, really helped me to kind of find ways to do things better. So you can do the same thing. you could do the same thing, and that could help you out quite well. So that's the thing. Do things different, but reach out to people. People, in my mind, and what I've seen, are the biggest help to your trading. More than like finding a strategy, finding someone to help you out, to guide you, is more powerful. So that's always what I will favor, as opposed to just strategies and everything around. Okay, I gotta go soon. I have a meeting with, speaking of traders, with, shit, Scott Phillips. So I'm gonna meet him in person at his apartment in Bangkok. It's gonna be pretty cool. Talk trading and everything around. So I'm gonna finish with this. Lewis says, tough to trade the London session and New York session. Can one be successful trading only one session? I believe so. I think trading only one session is the best. I've done that before, only with the Asian session. You can trade only one if you want, only the London or only New York, and it works fine. So, and the cool thing when you pick one session is like you become really good at that session, and that's the cool thing. So the better you are, the better it is. So then later on, if you want to add sessions, you can do it. You can do so, but you would better start with one at first. Okay. Professor says, why I see on higher time frame it seems rejecting, but lower time frame seems retesting. Which one should follow? So you always want to trade with the higher time frame in mind, meaning that like if price is near a resistance, you look for a bearish trade, right? So a sell trade. But then inside, the lower time frame is going to look scary. You're just going to find a way to find a reversal setup there, and that's the only thing you look at. So if price is going to reject on the high, usually it's the opposite. It's going to reject on the lower time frame first. So that's what you should look at. Or if it's something where it's like rejecting on the higher time frame, but on the lower time frame it's like more sideways, then you look for a breakout on the lower time frame in the direction of the bigger time frame. So how that makes sense? It's kind of not clear with our charts, but yeah. Okay. If you want to see the way I trade, I have a free course on YouTube on our website. It's free. You can just watch it. Type in the Zart Trade strategy on YouTube. You'll find it pretty fast. Okay. Also, if you want to find traders in your city, I highly recommend you check out the video on YouTube. I'll try to link it below after. I have a video where it says how to find a mentor or something of the sort in your city for free. You'll find it. It's super easy. Alright guys, so I hope that makes sense. I gotta leave right now, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Give a like on that review if you liked it today, and I will see you at the training tomorrow. Okay, this is linked in the description if you wanna join me tomorrow. I would appreciate that. Would be nice. And I will catch you back here pretty soon. So have a nice weekend, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.